If you're a professional man at your heaviest weight, worried about your health and confidence and tired of gaining the same weight back, I want to share the 5 atomic habits that helped me lose the 60 pounds and keep it off for 13 years. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, make sure you hit the subscribe button because I'm making a new video about weight loss advice for professional men every single week. I use these strategies to lose 60 pounds in 8 months and kept it off for 13 years, and I've helped dozens of men just like you lose up to 60 pounds and finally escape the yo-yo dieting cycle. If you're tired of constantly losing and gaining the same weight, I want to help you get to your healthy self without giving up the foods that you love. The first habit for you professional men is that you should never miss twice. What that basically means is that most ambitious professional men, they are just struggling because they miss, like, for example, one meal or one workout, and the bad meal is just turning into, for example, a whole week. And the problem with that is you are basically screwing yourself. Let's imagine that you want to stay in a calorie deficit in order to lose weight all around your body, but if you are only having one calorie deficit like Monday, you are not creating a long enough calorie deficit because you need to maintain that from Monday to Sunday in order to create enough calorie deficit to lose like 1 pound. And let's imagine that you are fucking up or you are struggling with maintaining that, for example, calorie deficit. You should just start tomorrow and try to learn from it, because like if you also miss one workout like Monday, you should not make it like a domino effect where you're missing all the workouts. It's okay to screw up, because I used to screw up a lot in the beginning, and it's okay. I just know that if you have this all or nothing mindset, that's going to destroy your whole weight loss journey. And that is also the reason why, if you are trying to be on a healthy diet where you are on a calorie deficit and you just maybe think that is going to be perfect, and then you're screwing up, then you are trying to eat healthy, then you are just regaining all the weight back. So I don't want you to do that. So for example, maybe you've been overeating instead of having your calorie deficit, and you accidentally not counting your calories the right way, so you are just overeating. I used to make that mistake, but I learned from it, and the next day I was just compensating the calories. If you want to lose the weight for good and become the most healthiest version of yourself, just like you saw with me and my client transformation in the beginning of the video, there's a link in the description and also in the comment section where you can apply for coaching with me, and we'll see if you and I are fit to work together, and I'll help you build a game plan together. So if you ate 500 calories like Monday, above the calories that you need to be in a calorie deficit, the next day I was just subtracting it. So it's just about having the bigger picture to have this calorie deficit. And if you are in a calorie deficit, it's also about maintaining the calorie deficit, for example, through the whole week, but to lose the 1 pound. But if you also want to lose another pound, you also need to expenditure more calories by burning it. So you can include 6,000 steps. You can work out 5 times in the gym with focusing on progressive overload and compound movements, isolation movements, and also, for example, having cardio. And the specific type of cardio should be 4 times of cardio on a cross or trainer or stationary bike, where you basically have some resistance in order to burn even more calories. And that's easier to track when you are on a, for example, the stationary bike. That's my favorite way to do cardio, and because I can just watch TV on my, for example, my iPhone. So that's an easy way to just spend 20 minutes. And of course, the heart rate is what, 120 or 150. The next habit is that you should write down the person that you want to become. What that basically means is that stop saying that you need to lose weight. There should be a bigger motivation, because it could be that I'm a healthy, disciplined professional man, and the reason why is that I know that you really want to lose weight, but losing weight is just a tool for you to get to the person that you really want, but it's also about keeping the weight off. So the goal should be, I want to become a professional, confident and healthy man who is naturally lean and stays lean for good. And that is also the reason why I should say to you that in order to become that person, you need to have a specific piece of paper where you're specifically typing in or writing down, who is this person? Be very detailed, specific about it. I can give you an example, because when I was at my heaviest weight, feeling exhausted, struggling with losing and gaining the same weight, and I was just staying up late at night for example, 2 a.m. I was just saying, man, why am I just too fucking fat, and why am I having a struggle with breathing when I was trying to work out and feeling disgusted? What I see in the mirror, what I specifically wrote down was, who do I admire? Who do I want to become? So I had a clear picture that I really want to become like a combination of Cristiano Ronaldo, because he was very fit, he was very ambitious and had a lot of success in his specific area of, for example, business and also with soccer. So I was also wondering which kind of traits did he had that I wanted to implement so I can become a person who is similar in like him. So I figured out that the way that he was being so fit and structured was because of how he was disciplining himself with following detailed workout and nutrition plan. And how he specifically got that, he was actually hiring someone who could give him the right knowledge, so create it. So for example, I was hiring a fitness coach who was teaching me about maintenance calories, because that is the amount of calories you need to eat to maintain your current weight. And also, in order to lose weight even faster, I needed to educate myself on regards to what macros are, like 45 of the daily calories coming from protein, because it helps you build the muscle mass and also lose fat even faster, and the type of foods that you need to eat that helps you hit that macro is, for example, whey protein that's easy to drink with 60 grams of protein and 400 grams skim milk. It could be lean chicken breast, it could be ground beef, lean ground beef, salmon, eggs, tuna, and also having the right amount of carbs that can help you sustain your energy levels. Because if you are someone as a professional man and like Cristiano Ronaldo, who wants to have a lot of stamina to be able to work out several times a day and also last 90 minutes when you are playing a soccer game, you need to have similar and fast digestible carbs. Fast digestible carbs could be like a banana before working out, because it's just digested very fast, or it could be a muesli bar, protein bar, and also slow digestible carbs where you're combining it, so you can, for example, eat a lot of veggies, that could be broccoli, carrot, wok mix, it could be quinoa, oatmeal, whole wheat bread, pasta, a combination of that. And also you want to combine it with having some of the protein, so it could be pasta carbonara with 200 grams of chicken and 200 grams of whole wheat pasta and some veggies, because combination of protein and also the carbs, it makes you digest the food very slowly. If you're only eating fast digestible carbs, you are burning it very fast. So a combination of these two things can help you. So that's like some of the things that I just needed to teach myself by hiring someone who can teach me that. And by following these different kinds of choices all the time, it was like a way for me to say that by me following that workout and diet plan is a vote for me that I'm embarking on my new identity. Because if you're not doing that, it's about very difficult for you to work towards the person that you really become. So it's more about small actions that leads to what you really want. And also the kind of clothes that he was wearing was very tailored to his lean, natural, beautiful body. So having broad wide shoulders, abs, small waist, big muscular thighs, and also arms was also way to accentuate his professional look. Because if you want to appear like confident, competent, you also need to have the skills, of course, but it's also about how you portray yourself. So having a face hair, you could have a hairstyle that fits your lean face, and it's also from you losing weight and having a calorie deficit that makes you lose weight all around your body. So by sticking to that calorie deficit, you are losing weight around your face as well, and that makes you also look more confident. And always making sure that all these small changes that you are taking is going to help you with being the person that you want to become. So it's also about, for example, educating yourself with the amount of sleep and recovery that you need. So if you are knowing that you really need 8 to 9 hours every single day to sleep in order for you to rest and recover from the workouts, and if you are only sleeping 3 hours, that is not a vote to you to become the new identity, because you are needing to push yourself towards the person that you really become. So all these small changes, steps, and that is like 8 to 9 hours that is helping you become the person that you want to be. And the more that you are doing all these small changes is going to help you with internalizing it, and you're not feeling that it's like a thing that you really must force yourself. It's more like natural. I would love to know, what is your biggest takeaway from the video so far? Just comment below and let me know. So the third habit is that you need to schedule your health just like it's a business meeting. What that specifically means is that most professional men, they are prioritizing everyone else besides themselves, and that is also the reason why you are at your heaviest weight and tired of looking yourself in the mirror, avoiding taking pictures and going to business meeting because you are embarrassed how you look in the suits and just having a lot of missed career opportunities. So the reason why you should do is that, for example, meetings, you should put that on your calendar, but also workouts, you should also put that on your calendar, because if you are not prioritizing that, you are not going to make it. And also you are scheduling your walks, your workouts, and you also want to meal prep, because if you are constantly yo-yo dieting, what basically means is that you for several decades have been following a specific meal plan that you think that is going to help you lose weight, but after 2 days you are going back to your old eating habits and you are actually gaining all the weight back. And maybe after a week that you've been following a diet plan, and then you are losing some weight, but you are eating the same shit that you used to, that eventually got you to your heaviest weight. So it's about scheduling into your, for example, your calendar, because if it's scheduled into your calendar, all the noise that you are having in your daily is just being removed, so you don't have a lot of noise that is going to screw up your workout plan. So I always think that if you want to maintain this calorie deficit, you need to meal prep all your meals beforehand, so you don't go into temptations. For example, if you are a professional man going to the office and you know that you are having it, like your energy is crashing like in the afternoon, and you feel dizzy, fogginess because you're just tired. That's also the reason why I want to make sure that I'm eating 3-4 meals throughout the day, where I'm breaking my fast like 12 p.m. and then I have a big meal because I've been working out. My glycogen stores are depleted. I filled it up with a lot of carbs, 40 grams of carbs, at least 30 grams of protein, because you've been breaking down all these muscle tissues. So you want to utilize, for example, the protein, enough protein to spark the protein synthesis to build more muscle, because the more muscles you're building, the faster you are losing fat. So it's also about having stable energy levels. So by having a big large meal like the first before after you're working out, and then in the afternoon you can have a protein cookie because it's high in protein and high in fibers and carb. So that's also able to stabilize your blood sugar but also your energy levels. And in the evening you are having a large meal because you maybe have your dinner with your family, so you don't necessarily always need to prepare that, but you can prepare, for example, the lean chicken breast that you've been cooked beforehand, and also prepared a big bowl of pasta, so you just put it into the micro oven and then it's done. And also some pasta, or if you want to put some bolognese on top, just to have it prepared beforehand, so you don't being tempted by any of the temptations that's around, especially at work where there's a lot of muffins, cakes in the afternoon, and that's going to screw up your calorie deficit. So it's always about planning. The fourth habit is that you want to make weight gain very hard. The reason why is that because most men like yourself is just gaining weight way too easy, and it's because you have a lot of shit in your house. For example, you have a lot of junk food, and also easy accessible with pizza in the nearby, or you have a lot of cookies, muffins. I know that if you are a family and you have a lot of these things, maybe it can be very difficult because your family is not on a diet. They can eat whatever they want, but maybe for yourself it's just about making it more difficult for you. For example, if you also want to create more friction, it's making it easier for you to not being able to have all this, but it's also not making you feel like there's good food and bad foods. Is more about balance. So let's imagine that you are removing all these trigger foods. For example, if you used to have a closet with a lot of chips, all this shit, maybe you should not have that in. I recommend that you are just throwing all the shitty foods that you used to eat for yourself. Let your family do whatever they want, but let's imagine that you are also having the takeaway apps installed on your phone. If you really need to remove that, make your wife do that. And if you are a single man, just remove all the shitty food in your house. Remove all the takeaway apps, because it's easier to if you're tired and sluggish, you just have a click and then you're just ordering the food. So it's the best way is just if you are having your healthy meals ready by meal prepping beforehand. For example, I am having like 30 eggs because I'm eating 4 eggs every single day. I have that in my house, and then I'm also have 2 kilos of lean chicken breast I'm preparing, because that's just easier just to have it prepared and then flow into some pasta or in other meals that I'm preparing. And maybe pasta is just something that I'm cooking on the day or several days beforehand. And also wok mix that is frozen, because I'm just putting it into the pan with the spaghetti. Is for me is easier if the meals that I'm preparing takes 5-10 minutes, no more, because it's just way easier to have any, for example, excuses when you have a long day at work and you come home and just want some quick meal. So if you have a long days of work and you have several days of that, you just meal prep, so you don't need to think about it and have it with you when it comes to, for example, the days where you are very tired. And also if you really need to avoid these triggers with the foods that's junk food, especially at work, just have some protein cookies with you that can help you make sure that it fits your macros into your diet, because that's easier not being tempted. So the more of the good choices and easier choices you're making, the easier it is to go away from the bad choice, because you are just setting yourself up for good. And also you also want to plan for example, a meal where you're something that you're looking forward, because the first 2 weeks you are having your diet work for itself, so you're in a calorie deficit, and eventually after 2 weeks it's going to plummet more. So by increasing your calories mainly from carbs, like 700 or 1000 calories coming from carbs, you're spiking up your metabolism, so you are burning fat even faster. And that is just the way that I'm used to have my cravings in control, and also have 90% of the foods that you like from whole foods that I mentioned before, but also the 10% of the foods that you really enjoy could be, as you have 200 calories of cookies, 200 calories left, and you are already hitting 90% of your calories coming from whole foods. You can just eat cookie or Twix or whatever. Doesn't need to be that you are like restricting yourself on anything. So it's more about the bigger picture. Habit is track the truth. What that basically means is that most men, they are just overweight, is that they're heaviest weight because they are stopped weighing themselves and they are gaining weight. I don't want you to weigh yourself every single day, because that's like not necessary. When you are eating a lot of food and you're drinking a lot of water, your weight is going to fluctuate, but at least one time a week, Monday morning, naked after you've been taking a dump and not eating anything, because if you are weighing yourself this way, it's easier to track. There's nothing that's going to fluctuate with your weight. And also taking measurement with a tape, like also naked, because if you're doing that and also taking pictures before and after pictures, front, back and side, you need to have like pants on or like shorts on and just naked over body. By doing that, you are the first 2 things with measuring and also the pictures every 4th week, is easier for you to take an estimate about how you are progressing weight every single week. And then every 4th week is just with the scale, the weight measurements and pictures, because when you are losing weight every single week, you are losing weight, but you are also losing fat. And fat loss is what I want you to focus the most on, because your body is going to change. You're going to build a lot of muscle by broadening your shoulders, lowering your inches about the waist. That is going to make you have this I wouldn't say hourglass figure, but you have a V-taper. That is like a word for professional men who wants to appear like confident, have broad, bright shoulders, small waist, able to look perfect, confident in a suit. And by doing these things, you are knowing exactly what you need the most because you are tracking your progress. You're not making any excuses and you're just being more aware that you need to do that. I have timers on my iPhone where I am reminding myself to weigh myself, taking pictures, measurements, and then the easier I'm tracking things, I can have a accountability sheets on how I'm changing and also checking in with my coach weekly, seeing how things are doing. And I know that is very important for you because if you're thinking as a professional man, why is my health getting worse? And maybe you're someone who's been lying to yourself, and while everyone is asleep and you're thinking, why I'm gaining weight? Does it need to keep going on for 5 years? I am having diabetes right now, or I'm having diabetes, and will I be able to be there for my family because you're just at your heaviest weight, and maybe your career is growing or is just going back and your body's falling apart because you're just feeling like you work your ass off to build this career, but you look yourself in the mirror and realizing that I'm not the person that I used to be because I've just been neglecting my health, and your body's just getting worse. And what is success at work if your body is falling behind? And maybe you're at a point after several decades that you're just feeling that, do I really need to start over all the time and putting all the resources and efforts going to the gym, not seeing the results that I want, and you're just being tired waking up every single day? I know that all these things that you've been struggling with is something that I can relate to, and also a lot of professional men I've been working with. But if you really want to lose weight for good and become the most healthiest version of yourself, just like you saw with me on my client transformation in the beginning of the video, there's a link in the description and also in the comment section where you and I can just hop on a Zoom call and we'll see if we are fit to work together and apply for coaching, and we'll see if I can help you and build a game plan together. Looking forward to talk with you. Bye.